Me versus Canelo is a very good fight. I'm the bigger man. I have the longer reach. Look who he lost to, Dimitri Bivol, a bigger man, 6 foot.
If you and Jake fought, how long would it last?
Not that long.
I will pay homage to him because fair play. If he jumps in there with Canelo Alvarez, he'll get absolutely fucking destroyed, and it will be fast and it will be messy, and it will be bad for his health as well, potentially.
I can't give Jake Paul any more compliments than I'm giving him. All I said was he'll never be a world champion and he'll never beat Canelo Alvarez.
I think I could be fighting against Canelo Alvarez for the WBC or Elbow Championship belt. Paul has always expressed confidence in his ability to challenge Alvarez, envisioning him at about 200 pounds for the Cruiserweight Championship. The announcement of a possible July fight between Jake Paul and Canelo Alvarez has left the boxing community stunned, as many never expected such a fight to materialize. I can't give Jake Paul any more compliments than I'm giving him.
Me versus Canelo is a very good fight. I'm the bigger man. I have the longer reach. Look who he lost to, Dimitri Bivol, a bigger man, 6 foot.
If you and Jake fought, how long would it last?
Not that long.
Would you play with him a little bit? Would you carry him a little bit first?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I think that people is gonna enjoy it. For me, not right now because I'm chasing other things in my career, but we never know.
Jake Paul, a YouTuber turned boxer, has been vocal about his desire to face Canelo Alvarez for several years. In a 2021 interview, Paul stated, "I think I could be fighting against Canelo Alvarez for the WBC or WBO championship belt." This ambition was initially met with skepticism, but Paul's persistence has kept the conversation alive. Davis responded bluntly to the shocking news of Canelo versus Jake Paul on Twitter, saying, "I'm looking for flowers."
You said that you'd like to go up against Canelo Alvarez. What gives you the right to call out a 59-2 boxer, one of the greatest of all time, when you've not yet proven yourself?
I'm predicting what's going to happen
In
3
the
more years
3
from now.
years. So 3
So I'm
years.
going to get to his skill level and beat him. I have one of the greatest self-belief systems in the world, and I know what I'm capable of. And with this new team, I can give Canelo a serious run for his money.
Jake Paul and boxing legend Mike Tyson squared off in an 8-round heavyweight bout at Ant Stadium in Arlington, Texas, in November 2024. Although Tyson was 58 years old, the fight attracted a lot of attention, and Paul won by unanimous decision. The judges scored the bout 80-72, 79-73, and 79-73 in his favor, adding a well-known opponent to Paul's list of opponents and enhancing his confidence and reputation in the boxing community.
Champion. And then for your girlfriend Yuta to win Olympic gold.
Yeah, we just have all the belts
That's insane.
in the world.
That's crazy.
And then we should just retire after that.
So look, are you happy with your performance in the fight? Are you happy with the way the night went down?
I wish he would have, put up a better fight, so then I could have risen more and done more. And he was surviving.
He was.
So
Before you went out.
it's worked up. But I think that everybody just wants him to win, wanted Mike to win. But
Dude, people really don't like us, Jake. People really want to see you get knocked out.
yeah, what did I ever do to anyone?
Well, you climbed on top of the KTLA news van.
Hilarious.
You wasted the government's money
How?
because the FBI had to raid your house.
They wasted their own money. They wasted their own money. Why would they do that? I didn't. And then nothing ever came from it. They didn't even know what they were doing there.
This decision highlights the commercial appeal and intrigue surrounding a possible Canelo-Paul matchup. Canelo Alvarez has a busy schedule ahead of him. He is scheduled to fight Terrence Crawford in September 2025 in Riyadh, a highly anticipated matchup that has generated significant buzz in the boxing community. Prior to that, there were expectations that Canelo would face William Skull in May, but reports suggest that Billy has agreed to a high-profile bout with Jake Paul instead of fighting Skull or Christian.
All right, let's do this. Canelo versus Crawford, confirmed. Not a rumor, not speculation, not he said, she said, or someone leaking the story. Confirmed. And I guess the confirmation doesn't get much more rock solid than the Ring Magazine putting this story out first. Ring Magazine, obviously owned by Turkey. Turkey would have been the one to put this deal together, and Turkey would have had to give the green light for the Ring Magazine to even put that story out. That's as confirmation as you need it. That's it. The fight will happen in September. Touch wood, no injuries. Wow. Easily the biggest fight of 2025. I said a few days ago, Benavidez Morale was my most intriguing fight of 2025. Obviously, that's now been put down to second place because this has been announced. Nothing can be announced to top this.
Canelo Alvarez has dismissed Jake Paul's challenges, saying he is focused on his own career and isn't bothered by Paul's calls-outs. Canelo also stressed that he doesn't need the fight against Paul and isn't interested in being a part of what he sees as a spectacle. This viewpoint is consistent with remarks made by boxing analysts who imply that Canelo sees a fight with Paul as more entertainment than sport.
Would you ever do like exhibitions like that, or like people like Jake Paul call you out, or these like other big stars? Like, is that business-wise like even worth it?
When I'm done with boxing, why not? Maybe I do it. I think it's
Like when you're done like competing at the highest
Yeah.
level, you're saying?
Yeah, I think it's good because what happened there is other people who never watch boxing, or they don't know anything about boxing, they want to watch Jake Paul because he's coming from he bring fans from other world, right? That's good because everybody enjoy it.
Would you ever entertain that idea when you're done?
Maybe.
ESPN has reported on the potential fight between Jake Paul and Canelo Alvarez, noting that it could be a massive event. Paul's recent bout with Mike Tyson, despite Tyson being in his 60s, added a legendary name to Paul's rhythm. Canelo, recognized as one of the greatest fighters of all time, would represent a significant step up in competition for Paul Canelo Alvarez versus Jake Paul in May. That's what ESPN in Spanish is reporting. ESPN in Spanish does a million times better than ESPN in English when it comes to boxing. It's just factual. So I really trust their relationship in the boxing world versus the American counterpart, that it's always hit or miss. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're not, sometimes they take sources, they don't source where they got it from. But ESPN in Spanish is saying it's very serious talks between Canelo Alvarez and Jake Paul to fight in the USA in May, and it's going to be a joint promotion from Canelo Promotions, from MVP Promotions, and from PBC. I've heard about this fight about 5 months ago, that there was talks about it happening. I couldn't really run with it because it didn't look like that was a direction, but anything is possible. And Jake Paul did tease that he has a big announcement in January. So this may be the big announcement he was working on. But what you guys think? Canelo and Jake Paul? Jake Paul's been in boxing 5 years. Canelo Alvarez been in boxing since he was a kid, been a professional since he's 15. He's fought the likes of Mayweather, Cotto, Danny Jacobs, so many off the top of my head, Pero Golo, he fought Monji Berlanga, and Austin Trout, and so many legends on his resume. Shane Mosley and James Kirkland. And Canelo works very hard to be at the position that he's in, a 4-division champion and undisputed at 68. In him and Jake Paul, marketing wise, would be a massive fans. Everyone knows Canelo is a rock star. Everyone knows Jake Paul is very popular. It's hard to top Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. But if there's one fight that could top it, this may be it. So it's going to be interesting. And Jake Paul, he shed the ring with Mike Tyson, and a lot of people want to see revenge. Even Canelo said that he would fight him in revenge with Mike Tyson. So this may be on Netflix again. And if it is, that was a movie they really invested everything instead of facing William Skull or Christian. And Billy Canelo Alvarez has chosen to fight Jake Paul in July. This decision has surprised many in the boxing community. UFC President Dana White has weighed in on the potential Canelo-Paul fight, suggesting that it would be an easy payday for Canelo. White implied that Canelo could earn a substantial sum fighting a more legitimate opponent and questioned the competitive merit of a bout with Paul. Moreover, boxing icon Floyd Mayweather has expressed a critical view of Jake Paul's aspirations to fight Canelo Alvarez. Mayweather suggested that Paul would be overwhelmed by Canelo's skill and experience, stating that Paul would shine only until he faced a real fighter who could actually fight. This assessment underscores the significant challenge Paul would face against a boxer of Canelo's stature. Jake Paul, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's gonna be bad. Have you been impressed? But one thing I like about him, one thing I do like about him, he's selling it, and he's making good money, and he's entertaining. I like it. Is he and Floyd. There were many people believe you're the most talented fighter ever, period. So whatever you say to this question, I think is important. Are you impressed? Does he have boxing ability? Or is he just an entertainer who has a lot of fans and can promote a fight? and has fought lesser opponents? Or is he actually talented, as long as he continued to fight MMA guys and YouTubers, he's gonna continue to look good and shine. But once he fights a real fighter that can really fight, it's not going to be that good. Does he have the ability with what you've seen to continue to mold himself into somebody who can actually, he told me before, his goal is to fight Canelo, so that you know where his mindset get. __ up by Canelo. I'm sorry, just TM, you can see, you can curse, you can cur, I apologize, but nothing apologize there. There's no way he'd get demolished. But for what he's doing, as long as they keep getting U1 YouTubers and keep putting them in there with MMA guys, legendary Mexican boxer Julio Cesar Chavez has commented on the potential matchup, acknowledging that while Jake Paul isn't as skilled as Canelo, he isn't entirely without ability. Chavez suggested that Paul could hold his own to some extent, indicating that the fight might be more competitive than some critics anticipate. Jake Paul's not been shy about wanting